Happy New Year. Same team, same results. And yeah, losing sucks.
McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with the...
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
What's up, Titan Nation? Happy New Year to all the Titan fans, the Texans fans, and fans in general. It's a new year. Feel good, right? Brand new year, 2024. Let's go. We take a big L against the Texans. Yet again, get swept by the Texans as the Texans did what they wanted to with the Tennessee Titans as they beat us 26-3 as the Texans improve to 9-7 and get a chance to get to the AFC South and become division champs. They play against the Colts, who also won this Saturday, and I'm hoping and praying that I'm a Texans fan. I don't want the Colts to win. I'd rather have the Texans win. Titans fall. They're 5-11 this season. The season's been rough for us. For Titan fans, there's been lots of lows, not too many highs. But I want to take this time to appreciate, still covering the team. I love this team regardless of the outcome. Obviously, you want to be competing. I just noticed that my helmet's all jacked up. Oh, I got to fix that. My bad. I mean, people probably didn't notice that, but I did, so sorry. But yeah, you want to be competing in the playoff hunt. And unfortunately, the whole AFC South we're just on the outside looking in. And it's such a crappy feeling. But, I mean, there's a lot to dissect with this game. A lot to dissect with this team in general. And 2024 is going to be very interesting for the Tennessee Titans. Like I said, we have the cap space, have the most cap space in the whole entire NFL. Obviously, it looks like we're going to be, right now we're sitting at a number 7 spot for the first round for the draft. It could change this weekend, depending on who wins and who loses. But it looks like we're going to be getting a top 10 pick as well. So with that being said, I guess there's something to look forward to, right, in 2024 for the Tennessee Titans. But let's talk about this game, man. Again, I'm going to read you some of the stats and then go over, I guess, a little bit about what happened and what didn't happen and what continues to happen for the Tennessee Titans. Well, we can't stop C.J. Stroud. He's been a stud. I said it over and over again. Really wasn't too impressed with him when he came out of college and into the NFL. I didn't know how he was going to be transitioning, but again, blew expectations, did really, really well. The Texans have their future quarterback, and I mean, he's excellent. He's a really good football player, and unfortunately, we had to play him twice a year, which sucks, but it's good for Texans fans. You guys are excited, and I understand. Stroud was 24 for 32, 213 yards, 1 touchdown. Singletary, surprisingly, the last game we, went up against Singletary, he did whatever he wanted to us. I mean, he didn't have, like I said, but he didn't have a bad game either. He had 16 carries, 80 yards, which is pretty decent for running back. But let me tell you, the first game in Tennessee that we played earlier this year, he was doing whatever he wanted to. And he still did, but Tannehill, Will Levis started. Will Levis got hurt again after coming back from an injury. Got hurt, I think, his foot. It looked like one of the Texans linemen stepped on his foot. They sacked him, strip sack, got the ball, ran it back, touchdown. I think at that point, the Tennessee Titans, I was like sometime in the second quarter, I think Mike Rabel and company knew exactly what they were dealing with and said, hey, you know what? I know that the injury is not that big of a deal. You can probably still go out there and play, but why risk it, man? Don't worry, this game's lost already. Sit down, bub. Let's put Tannehill. Let's bring him in and let him play and try with this horrendous offensive line that we have. And Tannehill tried and obviously failed miserably. And who can blame Tannehill? Who can blame Will Levis? But Coach Rabel, he said it. It sucks. It just sucks. The offensive line sucks. It wasn't good. Derrick Henry, they held Derrick Henry the last game they played. And I said it. I said, I don't think that Derrick Henry is going to have the same type of game he had the first time playing the Texans this year. I think he'll run angry. He had 12 carries, 42 yards. It was better than what he had before. But that's not saying much either. So Derrick Henry wasn't really effective. D-Hopped had, I think, seven receiving. I think 7 catches for, I think, like 48 yards or something like that. But the only positive that you can take out of this game right now, Derrick Henry rushing for reaching 1K for the year in rushing, and D-Hop passing and getting 1K for catching too. So that's kind of cool. And, that's, their own milestone and career goals that they wanted to accomplish. And especially thinking about like how bad this line is and how bad this team is, to still have that and still get over 1K is pretty impressive and shows you that they still have a lot to prove and still got a lot in the tank. So, shout out to Derrick Henry and D-Hop for still giving it their all, even though, like I said, the season is done. The season's been done, and they still come out and they still perform and try to carry the team on their back. Now, what we have for the rest of the last game of the season is against Jacksonville at home. Probably, it's a very big possibility that Derrick Henry's last game with the Tennessee Titans, as well as Ryan Tannehill. I could see Ryan Tannehill going out there and playing, and we'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, the season wasn't the way we wanted it to go at all. Obviously, it sucks. Being 5-11, might end up being 5-12. But hopefully the offseason can come and they can fix some things and start, letting Rand get a hold of this roster, maybe with Mike Rabel and stuff. I know a lot of people have been on the Mike Rabel firing him and whatnot. And I agree, I understand to a certain extent of people wanting Mike Rabel gone. But definitely, I don't think I'm not there yet. I understand the frustration. I understand where people are coming from, but I think, I really think Mike Rabel needs to do something about, either offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, linebacking coach. Something has to be done. Someone has to take accountability and change it up. If he doesn't change that and he keeps the same coaching staff, then yeah, we could see the same problem, and I could see Mike Rabel gone maybe midway through next season. I don't know yet, or maybe who knows? He might be gone, this year. I don't know, but I know that something needs to be done with the coaching staff. 100%. There's it has to be done, because just the product on the field. Obviously, we need to get some well-equipped players that could play football, especially an offensive line. But you got to hold coaches accountable as well, not only players. I understand that players got to play, right? That's what Mike Rabel says. Players got to play and coaches got to coach. But to what extent when you're getting these results? So hopefully we see some changes. Change is good and it has to come. And unfortunately, it might be, some leaders on the team, like I said, Derrick Henry, some coaches, and Tannehill. Who knows what's going to happen. Same thing with Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is not going anywhere, people. Everyone thinks that Treylon Burks is going somewhere. He's going to be with the Titans next year as well. But I hope he gets... I really hope Treylon, gets... his feet wet a little bit. And, I mean, if you think about it, man, he's come back. He had 2 nasty concussions, his rookie year and then this year. And he just hasn't been the same. And I don't want to call him a bust just yet. And I think there was a lot of expectations for him, unfortunately, being, picked in the first round, the A.J. Brown trade, and then he's always going to have that. He's always, especially Titan fans are always going to, put them together. Unfortunately, it's going to be A.J. Brown and Treylon Burks, and until he performs to that level, which I don't think is a fair bet for him, coming in to the league ready with that pressure and expecting him to do what A.J. Brown did and more. But it's been a bad rap for him right now, and hopefully, like I said, he could come back next year and play injury-free football, because it seems like every time he would step on the field, man, he'd always get hurt. And this game is brutal. Football is brutal, and it sucks to see that for a player. And, their confidence as a wide receiver, starts to slowly diminish and stuff like that. And, the more times he doesn't see the field and the more times he's on the sideline, the more concussions. It's scary, and it does shatter someone's confidence, especially in that position, being a wide receiver. But like I said, I hope to see Burks come out a little bit better next year, and obviously be healthy. That's the most important thing. I would like to see Chris Moore, to be honest with you. A lot of people, I saw flashes of Chris Moore. I liked what I saw, but again, we have to get an offensive line. We have to get, better time. Let Will Levis have time in the pocket to throw ball. Let the plays kind of flourish. Same thing with the offensive play calling. I don't know what to say about Tim Kelly. Do I give him a pass? Probably not. Tim Kelly has some drives where he looks good and can be consistent, but then when he gets into the red zone, man, it's like that goes out the window. And he, I think, I don't know. I'm not saying it's easy to obviously call, offensive play calling in the NFL, but come on, man, come on. It's frustrating sometimes. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Tim Kelly. We'll see. I wouldn't mind getting an outside person, offensive coordinator from the outside, maybe not internally. And we'll see if Mike Rabel does that, because we know that obviously Mike Rabel has tendencies of bringing people that he knows as his friends or within the organization. I think a fresh mind, someone from outside the organization, come and bring them in, regardless if they don't know the system and stuff. I think it's a nice fresh start. I think that's what the Tennessee Titans management as well as the team needs, is a fresh start, new minds, and try to see what we can do for next year. But putting that all aside, I hope you guys have a happy new year, okay? 2024, it's going to be good, bright, positive vibes. I'm going to keep going with the videos, even after off season. We got a lot of content I'm going to be giving you guys, be doing breakdowns. We're going to do interviews with maybe executives from the Tennessee Titans organization, maybe some players. Just keep listening. I appreciate you guys. And I want to give a shout out. I don't know if the guy's going to hear me or if he ever subscribed to the channel, but I wanted to give a shout out to a guy that I was in Houston this weekend. I didn't go see the game, and I was in Houston, which says something. And I was at Plucker's Bar, and the game was on, and there was a bunch of Texans. It was all red. CJ Stroud jerseys, all this, and I saw one two-tone blue guy in a Marcus Mariota jersey sitting across the bar with his friend that was a Texans fan. I came up to him and I shook his hand. I said, "Well, that's what's up, man." And I showed him my I had a Titans shirt on too, and I had my cell phone has the the holder of the Tennessee Titans. And I said, you got some cojones. In Spanish, that means balls. He had some balls to go up there and just, even though we were getting destroyed, he didn't, you know what? He didn't put his hat away. He did nothing. He stood there drinking, eating his food. So shout out to him for that. That was cool. And that's it. That's all I got for now. And make sure to like, make sure to subscribe to the channel. The post game for the Jacksonville Jaguars will be coming at the end of the week, obviously. Hope you guys stay tuned, and always tighten up, y'all.